Not tasty.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Ramadan is a time when we become more mindful of what we eat, how we live, and how we take care of our body. And with our Ramadan fitness challenge starting from day 1 until the end of the month, it might be tomorrow or day after tomorrow, I wanted to share a few recipes that are not only healthy but also practical, time saving, and nourishing. These will be especially helpful for those who have joined the challenge and even for anyone who simply wants to add healthier meals into their Ramadan routine. Let me begin with a steamed snack, one that has been my family's all-time favorite for many years. I've shared this before, but this time I'm making it with a small change using fish. I'm starting with 2 cups of rice washed and soaked well. You can use Basmati rice or even Keerakashala rice, both work beautifully. To prepare the batter, the soaked rice goes into the blender along with shallots, cumin seeds, fennel seeds, and a sprig of curry leaves. Also some freshly grated coconut. Add enough water and blend everything together. I realized later that I forgot to add 2 eggs. The eggs help with softness and structure, but if you prefer a fully vegetarian version, you can easily skip them. And also for the filling, you can use mushrooms or any vegetables of your choice. The batter should not be too thin like neer dosa and also not too thick like the regular dosa batter. It should be somewhere in between. Add salt and adjust water slowly until the consistency feels just right. Now for the fish, I'm marinating it with chili powder, turmeric powder, pepper powder, fennel seeds powder and salt. Also a little coconut oil and some vinegar. Mix everything well, making sure the fish is evenly coated. You can use any fleshy fish for this. To keep it healthier, I'm air frying the fish at 180 degrees Celsius for 15 minutes. Meanwhile, in a pan, heat some coconut oil or ghee if you prefer. Add chopped shallots, curry leaves. Then goes in chopped onion and green chilies. As the onions soften, add ginger garlic paste and let the raw smell disappear. Once done, I gently crumple the fish with a fork, removing any bones if present. Then add coriander leaves. A few mint leaves add an extra flavor and freshness. Not too much, just enough. Now the crumpled fish goes in and everything comes together beautifully. I had a little shredded coconut left, so I added it as well. Completely optional, but it adds a nice texture. And the filling is ready. Now comes the layering. Grease a plate with little ghee. And place it inside the steamer once the water begins to boil. Pour 1 or 2 layers of batter and let it cook for a few minutes. You'll notice the color changing. That's when you know it's ready for the next layer. Spread the fish masala evenly on top. Then gently cover it with more batter. You can repeat this for multiple layers, but I personally prefer just one more layer. It feels lighter and perfectly balanced. After the final layer, spread a teaspoon of ghee on top and let this steam for about 10 minutes. Because of the thickness, the inside needs time to cook fully. You can check by inserting a knife in the center. If it comes out clean, it's ready. One more important step. Let it cool down completely, or at least until slightly warm, before removing it from the plate. Otherwise, it will break. And this is how it looks. Soft, layered, flavorful, and incredibly satisfying. This version is with just one layer of filling and is my personal favorite. It's light, healthy, and keeps you fuller for longer, making it perfect for Ramadan. After a long day of resting, dinner should feel comforting, but also light enough for the body to rest and recover well. So this is a simple, no oil, no ghee chicken biryani that you can prepare in just 30 to 45 minutes. It may not be the traditional biryani we usually make, but the flavors are still deeply satisfying. And the best part is, it doesn't feel heavy. For this recipe here, I'm using 800 grams of chicken and 2 cups of rice, which is perfect for around 3 people. I'm starting with 3 sliced onions, about 3 small to medium ones. Then 2 tomatoes. In my case, the tomatoes were slightly large, so honestly 1.5 would have been enough. Along with this, add curry leaves, fresh coriander leaves, crushed ginger garlic, and green chilies. Then the flavor base, that's salt, turmeric powder, garam masala powder, and curd. Before adding the chicken, mix everything really well. Gently squeeze the tomatoes and onions with your hand. This helps release their natural juices. Once the chicken is added, it becomes harder to do this step, so it's best to soften everything first. Now add the chicken and mix everything again, making sure the chicken is well coated. Let this rest for about 10 minutes. Even this short resting time helps the flavors settle beautifully. Now transfer everything into a pressure cooker. Cook on high flame for 1 whistle. In my cooker, it doesn't whistle loudly, it only releases steam. Now here the steam has come. I'm turning off the flame and immediately releasing all the steam. As you can see, there's a beautiful stalk at the bottom. This is where all the flavor lives. Now I'm adding the rice. I washed and drained it well and I'm gently layering it on top of the masala. Today I'm using Keerakashala rice, but you can also use Basmati rice. I realized I had forgotten to add lemon juice earlier, so I'm adding a little vinegar instead. It works just fine. For every 1 cup of rice, add 1 cup hot water and just a little salt. Now cover the cooker and place it back on high flame for 1 whistle again. And while that cooks, I'm just having my cup of tea. Actually, it's 1 full mug, and honestly, this is one habit I really want to correct during this fitness challenge because I have been really addicted to tea these days. Ramadan is such a beautiful time for reflection, not just spirituality but also personally. So do tell me in the comments, what is one habit you would like to change this Ramadan? It could be related to fitness or your routine, your mindset, or anything that brings a positive change in your life. I would truly love to read them. Once the steam comes again, turn off the flame and let the steam release naturally on its own now. No rush, good things always take their time. So while waiting, I was just reading through your comments from my previous video. I know I haven't replied to all the latest comments yet, and I'm really sorry about that. Please do know that I read every comments and they mean so much to me. Sometimes I just don't find enough time to reply to each one individually, but I truly appreciate every single message. And now the steam has fully settled. Open the cooker and you'll see the beautiful biryani that's so flavorful, light, healthy, and made without ghee or oil. If you like, you can add fried onions or cashews for some crunch, but today I'm keeping it simple and healthy. My family truly enjoyed it and I'm sure yours will too. Do give it a try. The next recipe is something I had shown in my previous video. A very simple version of overnight oats, this time using strawberry and banana. Some of you had a few questions about overnight oats in my last video, so I thought I'll clarify those here. I had actually forgotten to take the shot of adding oats, but I have used around 4 tablespoons of oats in each bottle. Then I added 1 tablespoon of chia seeds to each. For the fruits, I initially planned to use only strawberries, but they weren't as sweet as I expected, so I added 1 banana as well. You can also use dates instead of banana. In fact, even just dates on their own taste absolutely delicious in overnight oats. And during Ramadan, dates are something we always have at home, so adding 2 or 3 dates would be perfect. Now add the fruits into the blender along with 1 cup of milk and about half cup of curd. This quantity is for 4 people, so if you're making it just for yourself, you have to adjust the portions. Once blended, pour the mixture equally into each jar and mix everything well. You can also add nuts if you like, but today I'm keeping it simple. Many of you also asked whether overnight oats need refrigeration. Yes, they must be kept in the fridge. You can prepare it at night and have it in the morning or for suhur. It's simple, time-saving, and supports your body beautifully, especially during Ramadan. And this fitness challenge is not about changing how you look. It's about building strength, protecting your health, and creating habits that will support you long after Ramadan ends. Even joining now can help you stay on track with the right guidance and support. So do contact the number on the screen if you want to join the last minute. A few slots remaining, so hurry up. Wishing each one of you a blessed, peaceful and beautiful Ramadan. Take care of your body, take care of your mind, and most importantly, be kind to yourself. I'll see you soon in the next video. Bye-bye.